afternoon from Milwaukee. We welcome you from Miller Park. The roof is open. It's another gorgeous day for baseball. Got a big crowd filing in today to see the final game of the series. The Brewers and the pennant contending Cincinnati Reds. And the Brewers have a chance to win this series. They've got Willie Peralta on the mound. He'll match up against Homer Bailey. Bad records, great stuff from each of these guys today. Hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Brian Anderson. And the Brewers and the Reds going at it for the fourth time in this series. The Brewers winning the last two games, so they have a chance to win this series with a victory today. Had a thriller last night. And Rock, Willie Peralta brings to the table a lot of what the Brewers are looking for. He has the potential to be an ace one day. He's been inconsistent, but man, he is something to watch when he's on.
Yeah, you know, you really can't right now just say it's a good stretch for him. It seems as though he's figured it out there on the mound. He's pitching with a lot of confidence, working quickly. I'm not sure what goes first, the confidence of working quickly. And the one thing that was bothering him early in the season was big innings. He's been able to avoid the big inning. Last time out against Seattle, outstanding. Second complete game for Willie this year. Unfortunately, Felix Hernandez bettered him 2-0. Last 10 starts for Willie, a 2.10 earned run average. But since June 1st, 2.06. You can see the strikeouts are up, the walks are down, and a 2.06 earned run average. You can't ask much more out of Willie Peralta, the only guy on this team that has made every one of his starts.
Yeah, and Peralta had his best start of his life against the Cincinnati Reds earlier this year. Went the distance, his first ever shutout. So he'll match up against Homer Bailey, and the Brewers counting on some of the young guns, the baby Brewers getting it done last night. Craig and Augie will have more when we continue from Miller Park.
Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. And by Toyota, let's go places. Back at Miller Park, what a gorgeous afternoon for baseball. The Reds and the Brewers. Milwaukee, a win today gives them a big series win in this long four-game series against the playoff-bound Cincinnati Reds. Jerry and Craig back on board with you here from Miller Park. And tell you what, Jerry, You can see a player go down. You can see a player leave the ball club. Whatever the case may be, it's good to see some of the young guns that we have seen now on this Brewer roster able to come in and fill those spots in clutch situations like last night's game.
I'll tell you what, one thing you look for opportunity, and that's one thing you see out of these young baseball players. Not only are they going out there and playing good defense, but offensively, they're giving this ball club good at-bats and some timely hitting. Getting that opportunity, finding that opportunity, and using it to get back to the big leagues. That's what they're doing right now.
Chris Davis, Scooter Gennett, and then Logan Schaefer, all with 2 down in the 4th inning yesterday. That big 2 RBI double by Schaefer. It's the only offense by either team in the game yesterday. Yeah, big applause for the young guns, for the Brooker, and they're all back in that lineup again this afternoon. The rest of those lineups, and we'll see how they do against Homer Bailey and the Cincinnati Reds. Being Rock standing by to bring you the rest of the ball game here on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, 76 degrees. Great to have you with us from Miller Park. The roof is open. The sun is out. Day baseball, an afternoon game to wrap up this series with the Cincinnati Reds. Willie Peralta on the mound today. Dusty Baker and his Cincinnati Reds come in with a record of 69 and 54. Brewers snapped their 5-game winning streak on Friday night, and the Brewers have won the last 2. So here's what the lineup looks like for Baker today. It's brought to you by Piggly Wiggly. Shin-Soo Choo leads off, then Cesar Izturis in the 2-hole playing short. Joey Votto batting third. Brandon Phillips, Jay Bruce, Chris Heisey in the middle. And Dusty Baker has Jack Hanahan making his first start. Ryan Hannigan behind the plate. And Homer Bailey on the mound.
Willie Peralta making his 26th start of the year, a .430 earned run average. He's thrown the baseball extremely well to get that earned run average down to what it is. Coming off a great July at .213 earned run average. Last 2 starts, both of them in August, very good. 3 earned runs and 14 in the 3rd innings. Lost his last time out, but threw well in a complete game in Seattle. Check out the Brewers Menards defense. A couple of changes. You got Uni Betancourt over at third base. Ramesh Ramirez sits this one out, and Martin Maldonado always has been catching Willie Peralta, so Maldonado behind home plate.
And those two have been a good combination. The Brewers are pitching extremely well. The Brewers were the last team to post a shutout in the major leagues, and yet they have 11 since June 15th. That shutout on June 15th came against the Cincinnati Reds. Peralta has won against Cincinnati this year as well. He went the distance, a complete game shutout against the Reds in his best start of his career. And he has pitched well against Cincinnati this season. 11 shutouts since June 15th, and one of them last night. Shin-Soo Choo aggressively after Peralta, and away we go from Miller Park. Cardinals are coming to town tomorrow. Starts a 3-game series with St. Louis. And then the Brewers will see the Reds again on Friday. It'll be a quick turnaround with this ball club. A 3-game series beginning in Cincinnati on Friday. And a road trip that will take the Brewers through Cincinnati and Pittsburgh coming up next. But the homestand continues tomorrow with the Redbirds.
Man, one of the reasons why Willie's been so good for his last 10 starts, I mean, there's been consistent mechanics, repeatable mechanics, and throwing a lot of strikes and pretty much working ahead in the count.
Now he went toe-to-toe with Felix Hernandez, reigning or a former Cy Young Award winner who might win another Cy Young this year. Tough loss for Peralta, but he went 8 innings and just 2 earned runs in a game that the Brewers lost 2-0, with Hernandez picking up the win as Choo drops one into left center for a base hit. So that's how the day begins for Peralta. He's got a runner at first to deal with. Dusty Baker making a change in his lineup with Cesar Izturis getting the start today as opposed to Zach Cozart, so he'll hit second.
Well, the top 3 in the Reds batting order last night, hitless and really not too much activity on the bases. That's why the Brewers were able to shut him out. You know, when Choo gets on and Joey Votto gets on, that's when the Reds really get rolling offensively.
And Izturis gets a bunt down. Maldonado to second, got a chance to turn it. Safe is the call at second. Segura had to go off the bag to catch that throw from Maldonado. Well, and the Brewers let an opportunity go by quickly. That was going to turn into a double play with a good throw from the Brewer catcher.
Well, he got out there quickly, but just sailed on the throw a little bit, and Segura did his best to try and stay on the bag, and a good call down there by Mark Wagner, the second base umpire. A little bit off the bag. He had to jump to get it, but had the presence of mind to get the out at first base. That'll be a sacrifice for Cesar Izturis, and sacrifice to go 2-6-3.
And that'll bring up Joey Votto with a runner at second base. Votto in the series just 1 for 9, but that one was a home run, and it proved to be the game winner on Thursday. Reds won that game 2-1. And there's a shot back up the middle. Segura lays out, knocks it down, and that's going to save a run. But Votto will reach on an infield hit.
Well, you told us an infield, the man at second base, you knock it down, keep it in the infield, which is what Segura was able to do. And one of the rare times that Votto was going to be aggressive early in the count. Had a man at second base, attacked early, and got a base hit up the middle.
And now first and third for one of the top run producers in the National League, Brandon Phillips, who has 90 RBIs. Paul Goldschmidt is the National League leader in runs batted in coming into play today. He hit a 3-run homer yesterday, and Goldschmidt has 96 RBIs. Phillips is second with 90. And he has runners at first and third with 1 away as Peralta misses inside.
Major league leader in RBIs is Miguel Cabrera with 117.
Cabrera homing again today.
40 home runs now. He's only 4 behind Chris Davis.
That's what it looks like in the National League with Alan Craig right behind Phillips with 88. We'll see him tomorrow as the Cardinals come to town. Cincinnati won on Thursday, a 2-1 final score. The Brewers won a thriller on Friday night as Jonathan Lucroy hit a 2-run walk-off homer in the bottom of the 9th inning off a Roldis Chapman. And then yesterday the Brewers got great work from the mound. Gallardo to Kinsler to Henderson and shut out Cincinnati.
Yeah, Giovanni very impressive after sitting out for 2 weeks with a hamstring, and one of the more efficient games as far as pitch count and getting ahead in the count yesterday, and very impressive. And really didn't use too many curveballs, only a couple of curveballs. It was basically cutter, slider, four-seamer for Gallardo in yesterday's game.
Well, the Brewers with a 2-0 win yesterday as Gallardo beat Latos. Count goes to 3-1 on Brandon Phillips, and Gallardo coming back from the disabled list, little over 2 weeks with a hamstring injury, and he was very sharp last night and had another good start against Cincinnati.
He really was never in trouble. He retired the first 11 batters before he walked Joey Votto. And gave up the hit to Brandon Phillips, but it was a very efficient night out on the mound.
And good to see Gallardo get back on the mound and get back into the win column. He's now 9-9. Just the 4th loss this year for Matt Latos. Phillips bounces to third. Backhanded Betancourt to second for one to turn in time. What a double play. And what a beautiful play by Uni Betancourt to get it started. And Peralta, the ground ball pitcher, gets one in a big spot, and the Brewers go around the horn. Who was the pivot man on that 5-4-3 double play. And the Brewers get out of the first inning despite 2 hits. Renicki's batting order today looks a lot different than it has the last couple of days. You got Aoki leading off, that's the same, but then the changes begin. Schaefer batting second, Segura third, and then Francisco, Davis, and Jeanette in the middle of the order with Betancourt, Maldonado, and Peralta rounding it out. Piggly Wiggly lineup that will face Homer Bailey today.
Yeah, Homer Bailey, the author of a no-hitter on July 2nd in Cincinnati against the Giants. He's 27 years old, and he's already made 135 major league starts. And the Brewers have laid a few losses on Homer Bailey. 1-7 career against the Brewers.
Nori Aoki steps in, leads off, and takes strike one from Bailey. Aoki comes in hitting .279. Has 6 homers, 28 runs batted in. And Nori sends that one to right. Back is Jay Bruce. He's got it for the out and one away. 27-year-old Homer Bailey, his last time out. Night game at Wrigley Field, and Bailey able to get through that one through 6 1/3. He was taken out in the 7th inning in a so-so night for him. It was a no decision, but the Reds ended up winning that game in 11 innings.
one thing that Bailey's been doing this year that he has not been able to do in previous years is throw a lot of strikes. I mean, he's got a strikeout to walk ratio almost 5-1. He's only got 36 walks this year, and the base on balls has always been a problem for Bailey. Not this year.
Last pitch against the Brewers right here at Miller Park on July 8th. And in that game, he gave up 10 hits and 4 earned runs. And the Brewers pinned a loss on him. He had a rough start against Milwaukee in his home ballpark. Took a loss in that one as well back in mid-June. He did go 7 innings, but he gave up 6 earned runs in that outing.
It's kind of a mystery. I mean, as good as he's been, and nice season that he's been able to put together. A 7-10 record, and there have been games against Milwaukee where he's thrown pretty well, but just hasn't got a lot of runs to work with. 0-2 this year against Milwaukee at Miller Park.
Schaefer fouls it off. Schaefer elevated in the lineup today. When Peralta pitches, Maldonado catches, and that means Jonathan Lucroy is not in the starting lineup, and that starts to change how Renicky configures the lineup, starting with that 3 spot in the batting order where Lucroy normally occupies. There's a bouncing ball over to Phillips, and he just does get Schaefer for the second out.
Yeah, let's check out the Menards Reds defense, one of the better defensive teams in the National League. They've committed only 60 errors this year. That's good for 3rd in the National League, and got a few changes defensively for Cincinnati. You got Hanahan at 3rd. Been Todd Frazier over there. His Turris at shortstop. Ryan Hannigan, back behind home plate. Devin Mesoraco has started the first 3 games of this series.
Hanahan has been used as a pinch hitter, not getting his first start as Segura occupies the 3 hole today for Renicky. Takes strike 1. Segura comes in batting .312. 7th in the league in hitting. The league leader is Chris Johnson of the Braves, who's hitting .335. Segura's been able to keep his batting average inside the top 10 for most of the season. He's 4 for 12 in this series. And the National League leader in hits coming into play today.
Talking to Gene Segura before yesterday's ball game, he's feeling pretty good. I mean, everybody's wondering when it's going to happen where he kind of hits the wall. Most baseball he's ever played.
Little pop up for Phillips that will retire the side, and a 3-up 3-down inning for Homer Bailey. We're off and running at Miller Park today. No score. On a beautiful Sunday, we are headed to the second inning. And how about the walk-offs last night? Turned out to be a Saturday night full of them. Miguel Cabrera had the first one, a walk-off home run, the first of the year for him. And then Adam LaRoche took this one deep last night in the 15th inning, and Josh Hamilton rounded out the evening of walk-offs as he delivered one for the Angels. So an exciting night of baseball around the major leagues. And hard to believe that Miguel Cabrera has not had a walk-off home run this year. He certainly had some incredible moments this season, but that was the first of the year, and he's already homered today. And the Tigers lead the Royals 3-0 behind Max Scherzer.
Last week we were talking about the Triple Crown that he won last year, and he was how many? 8 home runs behind Chris Davis at that time, and catching up. He's 4 back.
Here's Jay Bruce, and he slaps one past Betancourt, a base hit. Opposite field single for Bruce. And already the 3rd hit for Cincinnati. Peralta gave up a couple of hits in the first, but had a nice double play turn behind him to end the inning.
Yeah, had that baseball away, but a little bit up. We saw Jay Bruce with a base hit very similar to that last night against Gallardo. A pitch away, but up, and he serves it in the left field.
Now to bring up Chris Heisey with Bruce at first. Now we're keeping a close eye on the pennant races. It'll be fun going down the stretch. We'll see if there's any trade activity here in the next couple of weeks. If you go make a trade for a player outside your organization, he has to be on your roster by September 1st to be postseason eligible. So there might be some waiver wire activity as we approach the end of the month. Peralta puts a couple of fastballs by Heisey. 0-2 the count.
Yeah, the velocity for Willie has been very consistent all year. I mean, anywhere between 93 and 97. That was 95 right there down the middle.
No balls, 2 strikes. And Heisey doesn't bite on the breaking ball. Well, Cincinnati right there in the picture. They're just 3.5 back of the Pirates starting play today. So in the Central Division, you've got the Pirates, a 2-game lead over the Cardinals, and then the Reds, Atlanta and Los Angeles, the other division leaders, and the only other team that has a chance at the postseason is Arizona. As Heisey dumps one into left field, a base hit on a 1-2 pitch. And not a good start here in the second inning for Peralta with 2 hits.
Yeah, hung the slider. He's having a tough time establishing that breaking pitch, and when he has his good games, as like every pitcher, he's able to command 3 pitches. And check it out, the slider that stays up, and with 2 strikes, Heisey protecting the plate and able to dump it into left field. Got it down on the trademark a little bit, but back-to-back singles to start the second.
And already 4 hits to the first 6 batters he's faced. That'll bring up Jack Hanahan, one of the top bats off the bench for Dusty Baker. Today he gets a start. And he lines out into left field, a base hit. So the Reds have loaded him with 3 singles here in the second inning.
Man, think back to that start against the Seattle Mariners. How many times did Willie start a hitter out with a breaking pitch for a first strike? And that really sets up everything for a pitcher when you're able to get a first pitch strike with something other than a fastball, because just about every hitter is going to go up there looking heater. And I think the word on Peralta for these Reds is attack early and get that first pitch fastball for a strike. Go get it. Even Joey Votto jumped on the first pitch.
Yeah, you look at it, he's thrown 20 pitches. And to the first 7 batters, 20 pitches, and he's given up 5 hits already. So a lot of early count swings. Well, now he could use the double play ball. with Ryan Hannigan coming up, who has really struggled offensively this year. Hannigan hitting just 195. He's an outstanding catcher. Calls the game well. Pitchers love throwing to him. He blocks the ball. He throws it well. But offensively, he has been a liability this season for the Reds, and because of that, Devin Mesoraco has been getting a lot of playing time. Hannigan has missed time due to a wrist injury, and hand injuries, wrist injuries, you know how that can affect a batter, and it is really showing up in his statistics at this point of the season.
Yeah, as if hitting isn't hard enough, let alone when you're having a tough time with your hands. Brewers with the infield back, they'll exchange a run for a couple of outs.
You got the pitcher due up next as well, so there is a way out of this inning, but this is a key batter for Peralta. And it goes to 1-2. Three singles to start the second. Bruce, Heisey, and Hanahan. And a 1-2 count on Hannigan. And that one just missed. Maldonado wanted it. A 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and it goes to 2-2.
Tough pitch to take, and it could have gone either way. Tim Timmons behind home plate. Maybe thought it was a bit low. Looked like on Fox Tracks it had the plate.
The 2-2 pitch. Hannigan fouls it back. Doesn't look like he's able to turn on the fastball. I don't know the signs, obviously, with Maldonado with the runner at second, but he was pretty emphatic there when Peralta shook him off.
Well, maybe Willie wanted to throw a slider, but the last thing you want to do when a guy is, way behind your fastball is, speed up his bat with a slider. Just ask Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah, that's what happened to Lucroy. Got a slider and he hit it out for the game winner on Friday night. We'll see what he goes with here. Another 2-2. Brewers looking for the ground ball, and Hannigan still late fouls it away.
It'd be a different story if Maldonado felt like Peralta could bury that slider in the dirt, but he's been hanging his breaking pitch so far today, and you don't want to leave that pitch up in the zone.
Well, some high stress pitches early for Peralta. He's got the bases loaded, but he's at the bottom of the order. He can minimize the damage here. Another 2-2 from Peralta, and a bouncing ball through, a base hit. One run is in. They're going to send a second run. He will score. So Bruce and Heisey score, and Ryan Hannigan delivers with a 2 RBI single. 4 straight hits to start this inning.
They finally caught up to that fastball. I mean, one after the other. 7 pitches to Hannigan, and the last one a 4-seam fastball. He's able to find the hole between third and short. And that's the problem when you keep throwing fastballs. But I mean, I guess if you're Maldonado, you don't have any confidence in the breaking ball right now, and forced to throw it, and Ryan Hannigan able to time one out.
And a rough start for Peralta. And that's the book on Peralta, and we've seen it this year. He is very inconsistent. It's his first full season in the major leagues. At times he looks like he is unhittable, and he has electric stuff that you could easily see him throw a no-hitter. It wouldn't surprise you at all, but other times he does give up a lot of hits, a lot of base runners.
But he's been much more consistent in his last 10 starts. I mean, he's been able to avoid the big inning for the most part, and right now he's in the middle of one.
So the pitcher Bailey pops this one up. Maldonado will make the catch. So that's a gift as Homer Bailey pops it up for the first out of the inning.
trying to advance the base runners to second and third for the top of the order, and Bailey is a gift out for Willie.
Next batter is number 17, the center fielder.
So the first out, back to the top of the order now, and Shin-Soo Choo, who singled to the opposite field in the first. One of the best leadoff hitters in the big leagues, and he leads all leadoff hitters in the major leagues in homers, walks. He's the top leadoff hitter in on base percentage, and he's been hit by more pitches than any other leadoff hitter. He packed some punch. 15 homers, 37 runs batted in.
And there's that breaking pitch for a strike. That's the one he's looking for right there. Yep, doubled up on the breaking pitch. He threw a first pitch breaking ball to Choo and missed, and then was able to catch the outside corner.
2 on with 1 away. 2 runs are in for the Reds, and Peralta falls behind 2-1. Choo coming to Cincinnati from Cleveland, part of a 3-team trade. Cleveland, Cincinnati, and the Diamondbacks. There's a swing and a miss, a fastball by him. 2-2.
Man, you throw those breaking pitches for strikes. It slows the bat down. Guy's not sure what he's going to get, and he's able to slip the fastball by him.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Choo. And a little half swing. Did he go? No, he didn't. Able to check his swing. The crew chief, Mike Winters, over there at third base. It was close.
Yeah, tried the breaking pitch once again and looked like he was able to hold up.
So a full count. We'll see if the runners are on the move. Just 1 out. Hanahan at second, Hannigan at first. Runners stay put, and Choo takes a ball inside. So the bases are loaded now. Boy, what a disaster brewing here for Willie Peralta. He's given up 4 hits and now a walk. 2 runs are in. The only out was the pitcher, Bailey, trying to bunt the runners over. And he'll face Cesar Izturis with Joey Votto waiting on deck. It's been a 23-pitch inning already for Peralta. That's a lot. And still just 1 out. Izturis, a liner caught by Jeanette, and nowhere to go with it. Good base running there by the Reds. And a beautiful diving catch by Scooter Jeanette for out number 2.
Man, Willie Peralta very lucky on that. I mean, Izturis' first pitch fastball hit a bullet over toward Jeanette, and Scooter were able to haul it in and save a couple of runs.
All 3 Reds go scampering back to the bag.
Scooter's been very good defensively. Everybody knew he was going to be able to hit at some point, but he's been solid at second base.
Well, the dangerous Joey Votto now with the bases loaded, and that gets away from Maldonado, and in to score is Hanahan. Boy,
that'll be a pass ball right there.
Not as ugly as it gets. That's going to be A 3-0 Reds lead on the pass ball and a little half swing from Votto.
I'm not sure if that was a cross up or not, but Willie and Maldonado having a chat, talking about the signs, the multiple signs when you have a man at second. It looked like he got crossed up. And that pitch wasn't too far from being a strike.
And they're calling it a check swing as well, so ball 1 on Votto. 3 runs are in. Second and third with 2 outs. And now you have a base open to work with Votto, but you got a big run producer on deck.
Just put him on at this point, and why give him something down the middle to hit out of the ballpark, and that's what the Brewers are going to do.
And the Reds are going to bat around here in this second inning. So an intentional walk to Votto, who leads the National League in that category. That's the 14th intentional walk he has this season. And that'll load him up for Brandon Phillips. Well, sometimes the biggest moments in the game come early, and this could be it for Willie Peralta right here. 3-0 is manageable, but Brandon Phillips has the kind of bat that could put this one away early. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and Phillips lays off the breaking ball.
And not a bad try. You know, Phillips is a first pitch fastball swinger. He's not afraid to go after a pitch early in the count, so you start him with a breaking pitch. But now he's in a fastball count, and Phillips will be waiting for it.
And he pulls one through for a base hit. Coming in, Hannigan. And now it's bobbled in left field. Chu will score. Everybody advances.
And Davis is going to get an error on that play. Let the ball get under his glove. That will be an E7, and then he threw to the wrong base. You got to throw into second base to keep Phillips at first, and that allows another man in scoring position. Well, a 1-0 fastball from Brandon Phillips, waiting for it and able to hit it hard into left field. Trying to be a little bit too quick, missed it. Now the throw needs to go into second base, because no way they're going to get the man going to third.
And it's 5-0 Reds. And that'll bring up Jay Bruce. 5 hits in the inning, 2 walks. And Bruce takes a strike. If only there were a reset button. A baseball mulligan. Well, as good as the starting pitching has been, and as good as Willie Peralta has been, had a lot of confidence going into this final game on the mound. There's still a lot of game left, but a 5-0 hole is a tough one to dig out of.
And he's had good success against the Reds this year. This is his 5th start already against Cincinnati. 1-2, a 2.45 ERA going into today's game. Much different story so far today.
Tyler Thornburg, who was sent to the bullpen to pitch in long relief with the return of Gallardo getting loose. Three balls and a strike on Bruce. And Bruce pops it up. Betancourt will give it a look. It'll stay playable for him, and that will retire the side mercifully. Reds score 5 on 5 hits.
An early 5-0 hole, but all weekend long fans have been celebrating the 40th anniversary of Bernie Brewer. So on our AT&T Twitter poll, we're asking fans to tweet us at FS Wisconsin with what they love most about Bernie. His mustache, his chalet, his slide. Bernie, always a fan favorite. And it goes back to the 1970 inaugural season when 69-year-old Milt Mason, dressed up in authentic German gear, climbed up atop the scoreboard at County Stadium and said he would not come down until more than 40,000 fans came out to support the team. Well, he was up there 40 days, and they finally drew 44,000, and so he slid down the rope, and thus began the legend of Bernie Brewer. B.A.
Very nice. Good history lesson there, Sophia. And been celebrating the 40th year for Bernie all weekend long, and a great day today with the kids here, the family day here at the ballpark. Well, Brewers hoping for a major comeback today to try to reward Bernie, but they are down 5-0 as Francisco leads off. Homer Bailey retired the side in order in the first inning. And it looks like he has pretty good stuff today. He's got a fastball that used to be 97, 98, but he throttled it down for two reasons. One, to have more command, and the other to have a little more movement with the two-seam sinking fastball. And that's really changed the way he goes about his business.
Man, it's basically for Homer Bailey, four-seamers, two-seamers. He's going to throw a lot of fastballs, but they're going to have different looks to him. And he's got that curveball, that put-away curveball. That's a good pitch for him today.
And he strikes out Francisco for the first out of the inning.
Man, big overhand curveball, the 12-6 rotation. And going straight down. That's a very good curveball. Bailey used to throw a split-fingered fastball. He's kind of gotten away from that. He's going to throw a changeup more than, you know, the splitter. But whatever he's doing, I don't think the Reds are going to be having him think about changing. He's been pretty good.
Davis flies out on the first pitch. And two quick outs. Well, the sports and highlights show you've been waiting for is finally here. I watched it last night. Good start for him. Fox Sports Live. Jay Onright, Dan O'Toole, joined by Donovan McNabb, Gary Payton, Andy Roddick, Carissa Thompson. We'll bring you everything you need to know about the world of sports. Fox Sports Live airs nightly on Fox Sports 1, the brand new network that launched yesterday. 2 outs for Scooter Gennett.
And Bailey throwing into the shadows. It's not nearly as bad on the field as it appears when you look at it on television, because it looks as though the hitter is in a closet. Makes it difficult to see, but it's not quite as bad as that.
Good thing the iris of our eyes are better than the iris of the video department and the cameras. That's a better representation.
Not easy to see, but a little bit better than that shot.
Gennett goes down the right field line. That's going to go to the wall. Scooter on his way to second. And it's a 2-out double and the first hit for the Brewers. Well, he has really roughed up the Reds this year. Gennett is now 7 for 18 at the plate against Cincinnati. That includes his first major league home run.
Yeah, Gennett has gotten base hits in all 3 games that he started against Cincinnati in this series. A slider from Homer Bailey that stayed up in the strike zone, and Scooter able to get the bat head out and rip it down the line. He's always been a good hitter. Yeah, but he's been very good so far in his second opportunity with Milwaukee. I mean, officially third opportunity, but really second.
That was a matter of paperwork at one point for Gennett. Well, Betancourt now with 2 away. Brewers need to cash in whenever they can. See if Willie Peralta can settle down on the mound and start to put up some zeros. That's the way you come back. It takes big offense, but it takes good pitching. Bailey getting in on the hands of Betancourt twice, and he's ahead of him 0-2. He fouls another one away. Cincinnati's been a lot of talk about their offense, and rightly so. They have a good offense. They have power throughout. They have speed. But their pitching has been the story, especially their starting pitching. The best ERA in the National League, and since the All-Star break, they have an earned run average of .300. And then an ERA under 2 over the last 9 games.
Well, overall for the season, only the Los Angeles Dodgers have a better earned run average out of their starting rotation. They have very good defense. They have good pitching, and that's going to keep them around all year. I mean, offense is going to come and go. It does with every team, but the 2 constants have to be defense and pitching.
Bailey deals a 1-2, and Betancourt strikes out to end the inning. So a couple of Ks for Homer Bailey, a double by Gennett. Brewers trail 5-0.
at the Brewers-Angels game will receive a bobblehead of Stormin' Gorman Thomas. Compliments of Wisconsin National Guard. Visit Brewers.com for tickets. Carlos Gomez continues to see improvement on that sprained right knee. He told me today his pain level was at a 5 out of 10. He's walking freely without the crutches. A big move today was that he was out on the field playing some catch. He'll hopefully get out on the field, do some light running tomorrow. No word yet on whether he will be available for the Cardinals series, but says he's feeling better each day, guys.
All right, Sophia, thanks. So it looks like the Brewers are going to try to avoid a DL stint for Carlos Gomez, and that means the Brewers are going to continue to play a man short on their bench, hoping that Gomez could come back in less than a week as opposed to the 2-week minimum, the 15-day minimum that you have to stay on the disabled list. So they'll take their lumps right now with a short bench and hope they can get through it with St. Louis coming to town and an off day coming up Thursday. So I would imagine in a perfect world the Brewers get through the Cardinals series. You give Gomez 3 more days, including an off day Thursday, and then he'd be ready to go on Friday in Cincinnati.
I saw Gomez out in right field before the ball game today. Looked pretty good walking around. So the Brewers encouraged that he's going to be able to get back fairly quickly.
Well, in the meantime, the Brewers will stick with Schaefer in center field. Chris Davis will get the starts in left. Schaefer's an excellent defender in center. You lose a little in left field with Davis. He runs well, but does not throw the ball well. Does have an error today. Heisey pops it foul again. That'll be in the seats. Now we'll see if Peralta can dial it down now. The Reds scoring 5 runs on 5 hits and 2 walks in the second inning. He's already given up 7 hits in this game. Cincinnati brought 10 batters to the plate in the second inning.
Which is what makes last night's start by Gallardo in the bullpen with Kinsler and Henderson, that much more impressive. I mean, this is a very good offensive club. Up and down this order, they have guys that make contact. They can hit the ball out of the ballpark, and the Brewers shut them out. Second time the Brewers have shut the Reds out 2-0 this year.
Yeah, Peralta was part of the a shutout against Cincinnati as he went the distance. That's a fair ball. Betancourt, long throw. Look at that play. Beauty B. Beauty. That is a highlight reel performance there as Betancourt takes care of Heisey. Terrific play by the Brewer third baseman.
It kind of reminds you of that play that Brooks Robertson made in the World Series way back when. Of course, not quite as dramatic as all that, but very similar. Look at Uni with the good arm, off balance, and right on the money to Francisco to get the out.
They got to have a great arm to make that play. Betancourt, a shortstop by trade, starting to, at this point of his career, move into the corner positions. He can still play short and second if you need to, but he's becoming more valuable because he can play first and third, play on the corners. And he's just happy to get the playing time at this point.
He can play anywhere. You throw him in the outfield. I would imagine he might struggle with the catcher's gear on, but most would.
Only those of superior mental and physical abilities can.
Problem is, those that can throw the gear on can't play anywhere else.
Hanahan strikes out, and the first 2 outs in this 4th inning.
Or at least most can't play anywhere else.
We got an update for you from Philadelphia. The Dodgers are rolling, and Andre Ethier puts him on the board first, his 9th homer of the year. And the Dodgers have a 2-1 lead over the Philadelphia Phillies, trying to sweep the Phillies. Check this out. Since June 22nd, the Dodgers have won 42 out of 50. And you got to go back 70 years, a little over 70 years, to find the last team to win 42 games in a 50-game stretch. Los Angeles, since the All-Star break, is 25-3.
And they've won 10 in a row. They've got an 8.5 game lead over the Diamondbacks. That is the biggest story in the National League this year.
Incredible run they're on. They're 22 games over 500. They have an 8.5 game lead over the Arizona Diamondbacks with a 15 game lead over the Rockies. It looks like right now 6 teams for 5 spots in the National League, with the Diamondbacks as that 6th team that's trying to play their way in. But the division still up for grabs.
Yeah, but they're 6 games behind the Reds for that second wild card spot.
Right. Now they got a lot of making up to do. It happens. It's not likely, but it's possible, as Peralta strikes out Hannigan, has a good comeback inning. Good bounce back for him. A 3 up, 3 down, 4th. By Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. Well, what a beautiful day here in Milwaukee, out on the lakefront, Lake Michigan, not too far from there, Miller Park. And a Sunday family day here at the old ballpark today. Well, Fox Sports is proud to partner with Johns Hopkins Medicine. As Maldonado on the first pitch flies to right, and there is out number 1. So Johns Hopkins Medicine is one of this year's Fox Sports support charities. Johns Hopkins is at the forefront of groundbreaking research into autoimmune disorders like MS and lupus. And we ask you to join us in the fight against autoimmune diseases. You can donate now by visiting hopkinsmedicine.org/Fox. Willie Peralta with one away. 5-0 Reds. They scored all 5 in the second inning on 5 hits. And RBIs in that inning by Brandon Phillips and Ryan Hannigan. Charter cable high-speed pitch. A couple of flamethrowers on the mound, and Bailey and Peralta each topping out at 96.
The difference right now between the two is, you know, as far as going on the mound and what they're throwing, that curveball for Bailey's been a good pitch. Willie hasn't been able to get his over the plate. You can throw 96 all you want. If you don't have that secondary pitch to throw for a strike, good luck.
And down goes Peralta. A strikeout for Homer Bailey. 2 gone in the 3rd inning. 3 Ks already for Bailey. Can be a big strikeout pitcher at times.
Season high is 12 punch-outs. That came against the Pirates.
During his no-hitter against the Giants, he had 9 strikeouts. That was back on July 2nd. Since that time, since the no-hitter, Bailey has made 7 starts and a 2-4 record with a 4.40 ERA. After the no-hitter, his earned run average was at 3.57.
Yeah, the only base runner for the Giants in that no-hitter was a 7th inning leadoff walk, and that was it.
They retired 27 out of 28. As Aoki scatters him in that Reds dugout, which he's been known to do. Count stays at 0-2. Bailey has thrown 2 no-hitters in his career, one of the rare feats. Matter of fact, he had the last no-hitter of the season last season. Did that against the Pirates on the road, and then he had the first no-hitter of this season.
Yeah, one of 4 active players with a pair of no-hitters in their career. I hope I didn't steal a trivia question that we're going to use tonight.
Possible you could have. Okay.
So we just won't give the answer. Just give him a little bit extra time to think about it. No harm, no foul.
No, you're okay. You're fine. Way inside. 2-2. In Reds franchise history, they have 3 pitchers who have thrown 2 no-hitters. The most famous was the Johnny Vandermeer 2 no-hitters, which came in back-to-back starts. The only one to ever do it.
4 days apart.
Slow roller to Phillips. Takes care of Aoki, and Bailey is out of the inning. Vandermeer, Jim Maloney, and that guy. 2 no-hitters. I want to remind you about an event tonight. Brewers general manager Doug Melvin and his wife Ellen are hosting the Pink Tie Guy in support of their commitment to the fight against breast cancer. Presenting sponsor Field Land Rover Jaguar Volvo of Waukesha, along with Brewers Community Foundation, have stepped up to support this important event. The Pink Tie Guys are a committed group of individuals who gather to fight breast cancer by attending a special event, which includes honorary Pink Tie Guy Hank Aaron and other special Brewers guests. By the way, Rock, the proceeds from this event will benefit after a breast cancer diagnosis, ABCD it's called.
Right.
Also the House of Peace gift closet and the 2013 breast cancer show house. Melvins have done a great job. They've raised sizable contributions to support this cause for a number of years. Francisco knocks it down, and he'll step on the bag for the out. Good play over there at first base. And one away. Homer Bailey retired. And by the way, Doug and Ellen's efforts began 8 years ago in honor of the loss of Ellen's mother, Elsie Schultz.
Right. Yeah.
So it all supports a great cause.
They got a lot of silent and live auction items. I'm going to be at that event tonight at the Pfister Hotel, and they say that they have a signed Hank Aaron framed jersey in the live auction. That's going to be my part of the program.
Nice.
I'm going to do the live auction.
Can you talk real fast?
No, but I know how to embarrass the folks there to get some money out of their pocket.
I've seen that every day. That happens. Plenty of him shaming going on here in the booth on a daily basis.
We'll get some money out of those folks. Good cause, you betcha it is. You just look them in the eye and say, come on, you want that. You know, pony up, let's go.
You get into I've seen you at work in those things before. You really hit them. You hit them in the pride. That's where.
You see, the thing is, you can't just stand behind a podium. You got to walk around with the microphone and get about 2 feet away from him and look at him and say, come on, let's go. You want this. And how can they say no?
Count goes to 3-2. I think you should do that on some of the home plate umpires every now and then. Shame them into calling more strikes.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Like that one. Got to call that. Chu draws the walk. Come on, Rock. Do your best.
Yeah, well.
Tim Timmons.
No.
It's a 1-out walk.
I'm all for it for making the home plate a little bit bigger. Well, where's that miss? Not sure. Maybe up. Two-seamer from Willie Peralta. Is that high? Is that belled high? Maldonado pulling it down a little bit, making it look good.
There's 2 in a row to Chu that were close.
Not reviewable next year.
No.
Balls and strikes. Could you imagine?
Do you think we're moving towards that day, though?
I don't know. Who knows? Reviewing everything else.
No, John Sherholtz is on the committee. I think Tony La Russa is on that committee. John Sherholtz, Joe Torre. John Sherholtz said yesterday that the reviewable replays next year is only the first phase.
Have they come up with a list of non-reviewable plays? I mean,
I think it's just balls and strikes at this point.
Well, they were talking about, hit batters not reviewable or something, and I forget. I was reading that article a couple of days ago, and
all of it is in proposal mode, so
yeah.
I think it's going to change a lot, and there's obviously going to be a lot of discussion about it.
And a lot of folks are for replay, but not the way they have suggested that they're going to implement it. Puts a lot of pressure on the managers. What do you challenge? What don't you challenge? What is important? When is it important? Is it important in the first inning? I don't know.
Well, there's been a lot of debate about it, a lot of discussion, and we had Bruce Frimming on a couple of days ago, giving the umpires' perspective of the replay rules, the new replay rules that they are trying to implement for next year. There's a little half swing, throw to first. Chu is back. That's a strikeout at the plate for the second out. His Turris is gone. Peralta has 3 Ks and now 2 gone. Yeah, I agree with you. Everybody, at least, you know, you talk to Ron Renicky or Dusty Baker, they're in favor of getting all the calls right. The umpires are in favor of getting all the calls right. They want to get it right. They certainly hate making mistakes.
All right, they don't want to make mistakes.
But then how do you implement those rules? How do you take a look at replay? There are challenges with every system. I've always felt that the best system or the easiest system would be to have a 5th umpire, but then the problem with that is now you start to bring in the 2 local television broadcasts as part of the story. And what I mean by that is that person sitting in the ballpark that day would be only subject to replays that whoever's feeding him, meaning our broadcast, the Cincinnati Reds broadcast, or whoever else.
What's the matter with that?
And that's okay, but then that puts the producer of a game broadcast in a position to show or not show. Not saying our guys would do that, but if, you know, let's face it, it's a team broadcast.
All the proposals that have been suggested, or even through baseball, take all the pressure off the umpires and put it on somebody else.
Right. There you go.
It's basically what they're doing.
So there has to be cameras installed that Major League Baseball controls outside of the cameras that are here covering this game. And it varies. I don't think a lot of people realize how much it varies. You know, different broadcasts have different cameras and what cameras are available to you. When you get into a national broadcast situation, you might double the amount of cameras and the amount of angles that you have. So things are constantly changing.
Hey, Doug Melvin had a great idea. You know, from this point to the end of the season, just use it in games this year. See how it works. See what the problems are. Work out the bugs. Just pick random games and just see how it works.
We've been trying to think along hypothetically for different plays. We had a close play here the other day, and Gorzolani was on the mound. He had already delivered the next pitch before you really got the good definitive look at that play. And so that brought to mind this discussion about, will managers start to use stall tactics if they feel like that there's been a missed call that benefits them and their pitcher is on the mound? Do they just have him step off? Do they wait for all these replays to be flushed out?
Right.
I mean, there's so many cameras and angles that you have to go through all of these replays until you find the one that is the best look or the most definitive look.
Or you can burn a challenge just to get a reliever ready.
Yeah. There's a called strike Votto didn't agree with. And the count goes to 3-2.
No system's perfect.
Nope.
Nope, it's not. And nothing's going to make everybody happy. I guess what baseball feels is in the best interest of the game to try and get as many of the calls right.
Technology has improved so much. High definition cameras and the ability of slow motion replay continues to advance. And there is a called strike 3. Votto is rung up. Peralta fooled him with a fastball. Hit it over. 5-0 Reds. Miller Park. And our carsoup.com email the booth question from Joe. He wants to know, do you think pitchers that have thrown a no-hitter believe they can throw a no-hitter every time out? What you say, Rock?
I don't think they go into a game thinking about a no-hitter, but I think every pitcher that is in the major leagues making starts has the potential to throw a no-hitter. I mean, you know, there have been guys throughout history that really haven't done much in baseball that have thrown no-hitters, and there have been some tremendous players, Hall of Famers, that, you know, have had a tremendous career that have never thrown no-hitters. So you got to be lucky to throw a no-hitter. You really do. I mean, you have to have good stuff, you have to have good defense behind you, and you have to have some luck. How many times do you see a little flare off the end of the bat? Guy didn't hit it all that well, a little dribbler down the line for a base hit. But no, I don't think that they think that every time they go out there they are going to throw a no-hitter. Don't even think about it. They just want to win a game.
Well, Logan Schaefer leads off. Bailey's given up 1 hit today through the first 3 innings. That was a 2-out double by Scooter Gennett. Hit it hard down the right field line. Schaefer batting second in the lineup. Bailey hits a corner. 2-2 now. Bailey's only 27 years of age, and he's already pitching in his 7th big league season. Came up in 07. And Schaefer strikes out. A foul tip into the mid of Hannigan. And Bailey has another K. That's his 4th. And that's how the 4th inning begins. Let's check the Brewers Powerball home run leaderboard coming into play today. Carlos Gomez with 18. He and Francisco tied for the club lead. Francisco has hit 13 as a Brewer. Lucroy with his 17th on Friday night. The walk-off homer in the bottom of the 9th. Segura's in there in the top 5. He has 12 this season. Brewers hoping to get Gomez back the next time they see the Reds, probably Friday. He could return in the St. Louis series. Being cautious with him coming back from a right knee sprain. Segura today is 0 for 1. He popped up to second his first time around. Bailey's faced just 1 over the minimum. That double by Gennett. No walks, 4 strikeouts. When Bailey first came up, he was a hard thrower that did not know where it was headed most of the time. Probably rushed to the big leagues a little faster than he should have been. And he's really evolved from a hard thrower and just a stuff guy to a pitcher.
At 27 years old, and it seems like he's been around forever. He's always been on the radar screen for Cincinnati, up and down his first few years. You know, we heard about Homer Bailey when he went into Cincinnati. Even when he wasn't on the ball club, he was down in the minor leagues. Everybody waiting for Homer Bailey to get here to the major leagues. So that's a lot of pressure in itself. Expectations. And now he's starting to figure it out. You know, a lot of people equate, you know, Willie Peralta's progress and potential with Homer Bailey.
That's a good one. Peralta 3 years younger. Segura off his foot. A foul ball.
That always feels good on a Sunday afternoon. Bang, right off the toe.
So the count 3-2 to Segura. First time All-Star this year and his first full season in the big leagues. Too many plate appearances last year to qualify as a rookie this season. He was called up in early August of last year. And what a year it's been for him. Won a batting title in the Dominican Winter League after he was called up to the big leagues and fared well. Did enough last season to give him a chance to be the opening day starter at shortstop. He won that job for the Brewers, and he's been great the whole way, and he's played just about every day, and he's a guy that spends a lot of time on the ground too. Dives a lot. He's a base stealer.
Throws his body around just like Carlos Gomez.
He's got a chance to lead the league in stolen bases this year. He is the league leader in hits. Into center field. Falling fast. Chu is there. Makes the catch. Digs up a big divot, but makes a good play. Takes a hit away from Segura.
And Chu plays relatively deep in center field, but got a good jump on that baseball to make the catch. He's had a bit of a shaky series coming into today's game, but that's a nice play. Digging up the turf with the knee. That's going to feel good.
Got to replace your divots. He was hoping it would slide away. Dug a trench for Justin Scott to deal with after the game today, the Brewers groundskeeper. So 2 men are out. Here is Francisco, the former Red. Juan struck out in the second. Has a home run in this series. Friday night, game 2 of this series with the Reds. Juan Francisco against Mike Leake. Opposite field home run, Powerball number 18 for the big Juan.
First pitch fastball. He loves hunting fastballs and knocked that one out to the opposite field.
He chased one that time. Bailey strikes him out. 3 up, 3 down for Homer Bailey. 2 more strikeouts. He now has 5-0.
Fans, you can come out to Miller Park as your Milwaukee Brewers host the St. Louis Cardinals tomorrow through Wednesday. For tickets, call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com. And talking with Kyle Loesch before the game about Willie Peralta's development, he said one thing he's been trying to work with him on is just recovering from those bad innings, and he's done that. He's settled down since that 5-run inning in the second. Has not allowed a hit since then, guys.
Kyle Loesch has been a great sage for a lot of these young pitchers. I know that Willie Peralta has talked to him quite a bit. Tyler Thornburg, Donovan Hand. And Loesch, he is the consummate professional, sitting there with Marco Estrada, who is back in the rotation now. That's a great sign by the Brewers.
Yeah.
In what has been a bad year and really a bad month, a horrible month of May. Loesch has been that guy that these young pitchers have been able to go to. The Brewers are going to be relying on a lot of young pitchers moving forward. They feel like their minor league system is now in a position to start producing major league talent. Guys that needed another year in the minor leagues, like Jimmy Nelson, Johnny Hellwig. Taylor Youngman is coming along well as well. So you figured Loesch is going to have quite a role here for this club, and a much different role than he's ever been a part of.
Yeah, and equally as important, the role that Kyle Loesch fills for this club is he knows when to lighten things up a little bit. He knows how to have fun and when to have fun. Kind of teaching these guys how to be major leaguers both on and off the field. And Kyle Loesch knows just as well as anybody. I mean, he's been through the struggles early in his big league career. He came over to St. Louis and turned things around. And some of these young pitchers, very interested in what he's got to say.
32, the right.
It's one thing hearing it from a coach. It's another thing altogether to hear it from a guy that's been there, done that. He's been out there in the wars. Not that the coaches have not, but when you have a teammate that's willing to help like that, it really means a lot.
Leadoff walk to Phillips brings up Jay Bruce. Peralta gave up 5 runs in the second. Has had a couple of zeros since, and hoping to put another one up here in this 5th inning. I would imagine Peralta looks over there. He sees Loesch. He's on the top rail. He's paying attention to every pitch, every sequence. He's in the game. He's able to talk to Peralta after the game. I mean, that makes you feel good as a competitor to know that someone who's not in a game and really can mentally check out at any point. And he looks over there and he sees Loesch bearing down on him, looking at his mechanics, and his game plan, and all of that.
And it is all about Willie, because Kyle's not going to be facing the Cincinnati Reds in this series. Actually, he did first game of the series. So not exactly like Loesch is sitting there trying to figure out what he's going to do to this Reds ball club. As Tyler Thornburg, second time he's been up and getting ready in the bullpen.
Now the Cardinals are coming in tomorrow. The Brewers have their rotation set for the St. Louis series, and Marco Estrada will lead off tomorrow. He'll match up against Shelby Miller, who's having a great year. And then Loesch will have Lance Lynn. And then the finale is the day game, and Gorzolani will pitch that one. Gorzolani against Jake Westbrook. Brewers are hoping to have a say in this pennant race. They're not in it themselves, but they're going to face a number of contenders in this Central Division. Brewers are in a stretch where they're playing 32 out of 35 games against the National League Central. So they're going to see a pennant race up close and personal, which can be good and a good evaluation measure for young players.
And 3 of those 4 teams are probably going to be in the postseason, so the road is not all that easy for Milwaukee right now.
Pitch in the dirt, and Phillips will take the base on a wild pitch.
It's been one of those days at the office for Martin Maldonado. Got a pass ball today. He made an errant throw to second base. And more importantly, I know he feels bad about the way Willie has found himself down 5-0 in this ball game. Takes a lot of pride in calling the game for Peralta.
Miller Lite, what's on tap? Here's what it looks like in the Cardinals series coming up next. Shelby Miller with that terrific ERA of 2.97, has 11 wins this year. Lance Lynn is a 13-game winner. Cardinals just got Yadier Molina back from the disabled list. Shelby Miller is 10th in the league in earned run average as Bruce sends one to right, fairly deep. Aoki has room, and he'll make the catch. Tagging is Phillips, who will advance to third. So the first out, and the Reds put a runner at third base. That'll bring up Chris Heisey now. And then our Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery. Check out Uni Betancourt on this play.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, very quick release. And knew exactly where first base was, although he really hasn't played much over there until this year. He's made 2 nice plays in this game. Started a double play.
Heisey bangs one into left, a base hit. That will score Phillips. And his second hit. Heisey drives in his first run. The Reds lead 6-0. Starting to look like one of those days at the ballpark today for the Brewers. And Ron Renicky has seen enough. So Renicky will make the change. Peralta gives up 6 runs in 4 1/3 innings today. And here comes Thornburg. We'll take a break.
The Los Angeles Angels Friday, August 30th through Sunday, September 1st. For tickets, call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com. Ron Renicky said it was a tough choice between Donovan Hand and Tyler Thornburg. Who should go to fill the long role, but he said Tyler Thornburg's last 4 outings made a difference, and they're still figuring out where he fits into the picture long term, either as a starter or coming out of the bullpen. So another opportunity for Thornburg here, guys.
Yeah, Thornburg taken out of the rotation into the bullpen. Donovan Hand goes back to AAA Nashville. Probably see Donovan again at some point, perhaps when the rosters expand. But Thornburg did show himself very well in the starting rotation for the Brewers, so he'll get the first chance out of that long relief role. And here he is for Peralta in the 5th inning. Got a runner at first and 1 out, and Jack Hanahan at the plate.
Yeah, if giving up 1 run in 18 innings and 3 starts is doing well, I guess you classify that as pretty good. Tyler's been tremendous, and it really hasn't been the big fastball that's been impressive. It's the other pitches, you know, the breaking ball, the changeup, and that's what's made him, you know, a consistent pitcher and particularly a good starter.
Now the Reds scored 5 against Peralta in the 2nd. They've added 1 here in the 5th. That was the inning that did him in, Willie Peralta. He's gone 4 1/3 with 8 hits and 6 earned runs at this point. That runner at first still his responsibility.
That's a pitch right there, that curveball that Thornburg has been able to throw for strikes for the most part. Curveball, the changeup, and really not throwing as hard as he did last year when he was up in the big leagues. I mean, he's throwing 92, 93, throwing strikes.
There's always that gauge between big velocity and command, and the sweet spot between them. How much velocity can you give up to have more command?
You'd rather have a guy throw a 93 with good breaking pitches than a guy throw a 96 that can't get a breaking pitch over.
Maldonado wants a fastball up. See if Hanahan will chase it. He put it in a good spot. Hanahan didn't bite. And those are the kind of things you mentioned Maldonado a minute ago. You know, when a catcher game plans and he's trying to figure out how to get hitters out, those are the kind of pitches that drive him crazy. He got the pitch he wanted. He's deciding that Hanahan would chase, and then he doesn't, and you feel responsible for that as a catcher. Pitcher always has the last call. He can shake off or change his idea, but you're constantly trying to figure out what hitters are doing, and you're ad-libbing and you're changing on the fly based on the kind of swings or the previous at-bats.
And you can only call a game, you know, based on what a pitcher's throwing for strikes. And that makes it difficult when you have maybe 1 or 2 pitches to go to.
Runner takes off. Hanahan pops it up, and that one's going to head into the seats.
No fun calling a game when you're just hunting for strikes. Just finding something that a pitcher could throw for a strike and command somewhere in the zone. That was pretty much the story for Maldonado today with Willie. He had a rough day.
Games like this can be mentally taxing on a catcher when you're just grinding, trying to find the right combination. 2-2, and another high fastball, and Hanahan, who will chase those on occasion, has laid off 2 of them in this at bat.
And once again, right near the top of the strike zone, and Hanahan lays off of it around the letters.
Runner takes off. Maldonado will catch ball 4. No throw necessary as Hanahan walks. And Thornburg's first batter face is aboard. 2 on with 1 out for Ryan Hanigan.
29, Ryan Hanigan.
Been a struggle for the pitchers today. Peralta's out. Thornburg trying to settle this game down a little bit. Hanigan had a big hit for the Reds in the second. Still dealing with a wrist injury that had him on the DL. Just came back on the 9th. Peralta looked like he had him overmatched with the fastball, but he finally squared one up. He drove one into left field with the bases loaded. Drove in 2 runs. Made it 4-0 in the second inning. Reds would get 1 more, and then they've added 1 in the 5th.
It doesn't really come as any surprise watching this series that the Reds have walked more as an offense than any team in the National League. Boy, they take a lot of pitches.
Yeah.
They're very patient up there. It's just at bats, just grinding away and making pitchers throw an awful lot of pitches just about each and every at bat.
It's not the most entertaining brand of baseball, but it is effective.
Yes, it is.
Think about the Red Sox and the Yankees. Not so much the Yankees this year, but the Yankees in past years. Got to have a lot of good hitters in your lineup to do that. A lot of hitters who are confident with 2 strikes to take as many pitches as they do. And the Reds have that. And that's a base hit. So Hannigan with a couple of hits. This is going to bring in another run. That belongs to Peralta. And it is 7-0 now. Hannigan is 2 for 3 with 3 runs batted in. Close the book on Peralta with 7 earnings in 4 1/3.
Yeah, fastball this time up and in, and Hannigan able to get on top of it. You know, and Thornburg having a rough time getting the curveball over. Red sitting fastball, and he hits it hard into center field.
And now the pitcher Bailey at the plate trying to bunt the runners up. Bailey popped up a bunt in the 2nd inning for the out. That was the first out of that inning, and Reds would go on to score 5. There's a bunt right back to the mound. Thornburg will make the play. So a sacrifice. Out number 2. Both runners advance.
Number 17, the center fielder, Shin-Soo Choo.
Now the Brewers will have 3 against the Cardinals, then an off day Thursday. And then the road trip starts, and that'll include another off day next Monday in Pittsburgh. So you can load up on your hoagies.
They can come in bunches, don't they? The off days. Brewers have had a lot of off days on the road this year. Thursday, a travel day to Cincinnati.
We call those per diem busters. Off days on the road.
Yeah. But it's not too bad in Pittsburgh. There are some cities that could do some damage.
You can go more conservative.
Right.
Maybe stop by the Andy Warhol Museum. Good walking town, Pittsburgh.
Very good.
Across the bridges.
And that doesn't cost anything.
No, they'll let you walk right across them. Walk across the Roberto Clemente Bridge in Pittsburgh. Good to see them drawing well. They're excited about their team. They're in first place. Pirates are trying to return to the postseason for the first time since the early 90s.
Yep, 22 games over 500 are the Pirates.
That 20 years without a winning season there. But they look like they have the staying power this season, Clint Hurdle's club. Pittsburgh is hosting Arizona today. That game's in the 8th inning as Choo draws his 3rd walk of the game. Diamondbacks and Pirates are tied at 2. The Brewers will be in Pittsburgh for a 3-game series next Tuesday after they wrap up this homestand with the Cardinals on Wednesday. By the way, no television on Wednesday. You'll have to pick up the Brewers radio network.
Yeah, that game on the 7th now is a television game. That game has been added to the Fox Sports Wisconsin schedule. That was initially a non-televised game.
A programming note.
It will be now will be televised, and it's a 3 o'clock start.
And who's going to call that game?
I haven't been told. Nobody asked me if I was available.
That's right. We already made plans.
It'll be on. I don't know if there's going to be any broadcasters, but it'll be on TV.
It'll be there. We'll be there. We're always there. Where else would we? We're going to the game anyway.
That's right.
We might as well broadcast the game. Just hanging out at Wrigley Field. 2-1 on Cesar Izturis. This game has come to a grinding halt here in the 5th. 2 runs are in. The bases are loaded. Thornburg trying to wrestle through it. And it goes to 3 balls and a strike. And there's ball 4 with the bases loaded. Cesar Izturis draws a bases loaded walk. And some boo birds come out. 8-0 Cincinnati. Rick Kranitz, pitching coach, having a word with Thornburg.
Thornburg has been starting, although he did work out of the bullpen in Seattle between starts and looked pretty good. But you know, in a situation like this, it appears that Thornburg a little bit out of rhythm, maybe a lot out of rhythm, and has already walked 3 batters since coming in.
All right, so Thornburg will have to deal with Votto now for the 2nd time today. The Reds bat around.
And these are important innings for a guy like Thornburg. I mean, the Brewers still trying to figure out what they want to do with him, whether they want to make him a starter or a reliever. And if he shows well in these opportunities, I mean, that would do nothing but to you know, add to his value. But he's off to a rough start.
That game in Pittsburgh's headed to the 9th now. Still tied at 2. Cardinals have a 3-0 lead over the Cubs. They've got Wainwright on the mound today, and he's working on a 2-hit shutout. St. Louis headed here after that game. They'll take the bus. One of the few bus trips you make from one city to the next. Three and 1 on Votto. Tigers ended up beating the Royals today. Max Scherzer is 18-1.
Isn't that amazing? He couldn't buy a win as a member of the Diamondbacks.
He's 18-1 with a 2.82 ERA.
How does he not win the Cy Young?
Votto walks, and another run will come in. And it is 9-0. 5 walks in the inning.
And Ron Renicky, no intention of taking Thornburg out of this ball game. It's one of those days where he's going to leave him out there, probably extend him a little bit, so he's got to figure it out. 2nd time the Reds have batted around in an inning today. And we're only in the 5th.
And here's Brandon Phillips, who started this inning with a walk.
Eight walks issued by the Brewers today.
Ugh.
8.
That's bad.
5 of them in this inning.
So anyway, what are you doing tonight, Rock?
I'm going to the pink tie event.
Yes, you are.
I'm looking forward to that.
Do you have your pink bow tie ready?
I'm not wearing a bow tie.
No.
Got a pink tie though.
Fly ball left field. It's going to stay playable for Davis. The inning's over. 5 walks, 4 runs in. 9-0 Reds. It's okay. Ugly one here at the ballpark. Yes, Fox Sports 1 debuted yesterday, and we're all happy about it here at Miller Park, especially that guy. Get the latest Packers news and notes from Paul Imig as the team readies for its next preseason game. Submit your questions for Imig's latest Packers mailbag. Just go to foxsportswisconsin.com. Did that feel staged to you, the Fox Sports finger?
Yes, it did.
Or did it feel authentic?
It's okay.
I feel like maybe there was some pre-planning involved in
no
that.
doubt. I mean, that's our producer, Michael Vetter. He's just trying to, get some enthusiasm in here.
Yeah, I agree. Today's game produced by Mr. Vetter, directed by Kevin Shank. Brian Mikologic is in there doing whatever he does. Dave Trout.
Brian working today?
You know, he stopped by the booth earlier. He didn't say anything, but he stopped by just to make his presence known. Little Packers update. Chris Davis into left field. Did he get it? Back is Heisey looking up. And it is gone. Chris Davis homers. Hey, something to cheer about. Davis with his 6th. Boy, he's been on a home run binge since he got back to the big leagues. Brewers are finally on the board after Bailey had that long wait. That's a good way to get the bottom of the 5th started.
And we've seen Davis way back nicely on breaking pitches, and he's got a number of base hits on the curveball. And here's one here. And really not a bad curveball. It was down a little bit, but second deck, and he was out on his front foot. So strong that young man is. Yeah, good leverage, and he was able to hook it out of here to left field.
A scary bat speed from Chris Davis. Now Jeanette on the first pitch, bounces to his turrets for the out. Check in with Sophia, who has more on Chris Davis, the Brewers version of Crush.
Yes, Chris Davis settling into that everyday player role on his 3rd stint with the team. That's his 6th home run in his last 18 games. He said the biggest advantage is just the ability to make adjustments. And he's doing this against guys that he's primarily never seen before. He said the only pitchers he has seen before were Tony Cingrani earlier this week and Clayton Kershaw. He gave a great story. Said he saw Kershaw in a high school showcase in Joplin, Missouri. He took Kershaw through a Kershaw pitch. He took such a big hack that he let go of the bat and dislocated his shoulder. So he said, it's tough to see these guys all for the first time. And he flew out to left in his last at-bat. Took advantage of that second at-bat against Bailey.
Yeah, no kid. A good story with Clayton Kershaw, who not only has a chance to win the Cy Young Award again this year, but he has a legitimate chance, Kershaw, to win an MVP award in the National League if he continues as is. And Sophia mentioned Davis. He was a hitter that wasn't getting a lot of playing time the first time around. He made an opening day roster, used primarily as a pinch hitter, and a guy who's played every day his entire career. It was a change for him. But since he's come back, he has 6 home runs, as Sophia mentioned. He's hitting .341 during that stretch. He has 14 hits. So he is making quite an impact. Betancourt into left field. That's going to be playable. And there is out number 2.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to figure out what the difference is. It's all about playing time for Davis. He's been playing a lot. They had to make a roster move earlier this week, and they sent Caleb Gindel down because the Brewers wanted to take a look at Davis, see what he could do. Boy, he is taking advantage of that opportunity. When he first broke spring training with Milwaukee, it was tough for him to get at bats, and he just couldn't stay sharp.
And everywhere he goes, the Chris Davis comparisons with the Orioles. Chris Davis spells his first name differently. He's making a run at an MVP this year. That should be a fun watch with Chris Davis and Miguel Cabrera as Maldonado bounces out after the home run by Davis. Bailey retires the next 3. So the Brewers are finally on the board. 9-1 Cincinnati.
They do trail 9-1, and we check in with our Marshfield Clinic Shining Stars of the Future. Today we check in with Mitch Haniger, Brevard County. Last night he went 3 for 4, 3 doubles for him, 3 RBIs against Daytona, all part of a great season for him. He's hitting .272 with 11 home runs, 61 RBIs. Good to see the production from the first-round draft pick a year ago. He's the 38th pick overall last year, Brian.
All right, thanks a lot, Sophia. I think we should put Sophia on this list. Shining stars of the future.
Right, no doubt, but not the future.
Just the now. She's
current.
I'm with you. Sophia Menard, our reporter today. Enjoyed having her this week against the Cincinnati Reds. Thornburg back on the mound and hoping to find the strike zone a little more often. Reds scoring 4 in the 5th inning. 2 of those belonging to Thornburg. Willie Peralta gives up 7 earned runs. And then Thornburg giving up the runs in the 5th. Actually, Thornburg with 3 earned runs on his line. No, I had it right the first time. Just
yeah, you
2.
did. I wasn't about to correct you.
The scorebook's a mess, by the way. And anything like that, it could do some damage. Can't read my own handwriting.
They have 4 runs on 2 singles for the Cincinnati Reds in that inning.
2-2 to Bruce, and that one's on the corner, called strike 3.
Hey, today's time of the game winner is the Winging It Bar and Grill in Helensville. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game this year. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
It's exactly what's happening.
You know where Helensville is?
No.
It's in Jefferson County.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
You know where that is?
No.
I don't either. No.
That's like the Fort Atkinson area.
Right, yeah.
Everybody knows that.
I was just testing you.
I know you were.
I just figured that at some point somebody would tell you in your ear, and,
no.
And you would look all smart. It's okay. They never give that information to me. They like to make me look like the dummy. That's okay.
It's not true. You do a great job on your own doing that.
See? They like hanging me out to dry down there. You know that, don't you?
I like the name of that, Winging It. Why'd you go with that one today? Is because you thought it'd be this kind of game?
I don't pick them on Sundays. I told you that.
Oh, that's right. Heisey pulls one foul. 1-2 the count. I want to send a happy wedding anniversary shout out to my uncle, Garland Anderson. We call him Andy. 50 years he's celebrating his wedding anniversary. So congratulations to Andy and Mary. As Heisey pops it up, Jeanette is there for out number 2.
I want to send out some get well wishes to Amy Ramirez in the hospital. She's recovering from a sickness, and she's the wife of Rick Ramirez, part of our R&D department here in the booth. So we're thinking about you, Amy.
Great people. We also saw one of our favorite guys. He was back at the ballpark today. Roy Schultz, who is a longtime usher here in the press box and had some health problems last year, had pneumonia, had a heart attack. He made it through it, and first time we've seen him all year. He came back to the ballpark today.
Yeah.
Well, it was great to see him again. And
yeah, he goes way back with Brewers baseball. He was back in the old county stadium days and working a Rathscaler down in the basement of Miller County Stadium. Boy, how times have changed now. Look at Miller Park as opposed to back in those days.
Now, Roy's been around 23 years with the organization and really had to put up a serious fight dealing with pneumonia. And so it was a surprise and a pleasure to see him today pop through our door here in the booth. It's one of our favorite guys here in the booth. And his absence is the reason why we have so many cookies left over every day in the press box.
Yeah, he liked to steal the cookies once in a while, didn't he? It's okay.
To see that hand sneaking in the cracked door. We always knew that was Roy. So good to have you at the ballpark today, Roy. I'm glad you're back on your feet. 2-2. Hanahan takes a ball low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The ever patient Cincinnati Reds. And Thornburg walks Hanahan with 2 outs. The walks continue to pile up. 8 of them today. Thornburg has 5 walks. And that'll bring up Ryan Hanigan, who has been the star offensively for the Reds today. 2 hits, 3 runs batted in. He scored twice. Not surprising that the most walks allowed in a game as Hanigan goes to center. Schaefer runs it down to win the inning. Most walks in a game, 9. That was against Cincinnati earlier this year. They're sitting on 8 right now. Lottery reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Miller Lite. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. Well, it's Sunday, and that means the Little Weenies are involved in the famous racing sausages, and it was an even start and had a fantastic finish. Wow, hot dog flying. The little hot dog. Always a lot of fun, even in a game like this. A lot to smile about here at Miller Park today. By the way, between innings, nice moment. Chris Heisey, the Reds left fielder, he fouled a pitch off and it hit this young man on a bounce in the head, and he was struggling a little bit, and Heisey comes over and cheers him up, brings a smile to his face.
Yeah, good stuff. Make the young man feel a little bit better. Yeah. Classy move.
Good job, Chris Heisey.
Guys really have no control over that, but yeah, feel bad when you hit a foul ball in the seats and hurt somebody.
Sean Halton's going to pinch hit for the Brewers. Halton just called up a couple of days ago. Homer Bailey working on a 2-hitter. He's given up 1 run. That was a Chris Davis homer. Bailey's given up a double to Jeanette and a home run to Chris Davis, and that's been it. 9-1. The Reds have the lead. Playing in the bottom of the 6th, last game of this series. Brewers won the middle 2 games of this series. Sean Halton, his second trip to the big leagues in his first year in the major leagues. One of 12 rookies for the Brewers. Halton's been a power hitter in the minor leagues. And his first major league home run came against Cincinnati. He homered off Mike Leake. First and only home run in the big leagues. And there's a called strike 3. Bailey rings him up. Well, registrations are underway for Brewers Fantasy Camp. Fantasy Camp is February 2nd through the 9th in Phoenix, Arizona at the Brewers Spring Training Facility. You get instructions from the pros, 2 games daily, professional clubhouse staff and athletic trainers. Batting cages are available before and after games. You get a lot of memorabilia and autographs. Kangaroo Court. Just go to brewers.com/fantasy camp. That's the website.
Fantasy camp's filling up. I mean, we're getting there. We've got some spots available, but I would imagine by the end of the season it's going to be pretty much booked. We had a visitor here in the booth, a fantasy camper, Mark Hershane, who is a multi-year fantasy camper. So you know what? One of the benefits of coming to fantasy camp, every now and again you might get your name mentioned on television.
That's a nice perk.
As a fantasy camp participant.
A repeat customer. Zaoki bounces out. Close play. Hustling down the line. Good effort by Aoki, but Votto beats him there. So 2 gone.
Run into fantasy campers on the road, and I've been known from time to time. Tipping one back with a fantasy camper after a ball game.
1 or 10.
Yeah.
You get to play a game here too at Miller Park. That's the other perk.
That happened a couple of weeks ago. Game on the field, and you get introduced on the sidelines or on the baselines before a Brewers game.
You're very gracious to the public, but you take it to another level when it concerns fantasy camp.
Yeah, those are my guys.
Your people.
Yeah. Take care of them. Good people. And the one thing I hear all the time about, first-time fantasy campers that I see as time goes on is that the relationships that they develop with the other fantasy campers, I mean, exchanging email addresses and phone numbers, they get together, they talk a lot, and friendships that will last a lifetime.
So not only is it a great networking opportunity, you're saying, but you get to enter into the Bill Schroeder secret society.
Yeah, in the circle.
I've only heard stories about what that's like. Homer Bailey with 2 outs, got a 1-2 count on Schaefer. Reds are very deep in their starting rotation. They're going to have good problems to have if they make it to the postseason and continue in the postseason. They're hoping to win a division. It's so important these days to try to avoid that 1-game wild card play-in. The Reds are going to have some options. Bailey is one of those options. And whoever doesn't make their postseason rotation, if they get that far, that pitcher or pitchers are only going to add to their terrific bullpen. That's why it looks like the Reds, at least to me, look like a team that could make a run this year in the postseason. But winning the division is important.
A lot of baseball to be played. We're talking 6 weeks. A lot can happen.
Two and two the count. Logan Schaefer trying to extend the inning here. He pulls one over to Votto, and that will retire the side. So Homer Bailey is through 6. He's given up just 1 run. 9-1 Reds. All Cincinnati today. Homer Bailey is through 6 innings with just 1 run. The Reds had a 5-run second inning. They scored 4 in the 5th, batting around each time. And Ryan Hannigan has had the big day offensively with 3 runs batted in on 2 hits. The lone tally for the Brewers came off the bat of Chris Davis, who homered off Bailey in the 5th inning. And some changes. Sean Halton will take over in right field. Give him some experience in the outfield. He's been playing a lot there in AAA. And Bert Badenhop is the new Brewers pitcher as we head to the 7th inning from Miller Park in the finale of this 4-game series with the Reds.
Well, Badenhop in game number 53 this year, 2-3 record. Maybe asking a couple of innings out of Badenhop. Brewers have 3 games coming up. An off day on Thursday, so you don't want to use too much of your pen. And Badenhop last appeared on Friday and has been very good over his last 10 appearances. 2 earned runs in his last 12 1/3.
Homer Bailey will lead off. Keeping an eye on some of the games around the big leagues right now. Phillies ended up tying the Dodgers, so they're playing in the 9th inning, still tied at 2 after the Dodgers had the early lead in that game. Pirates and the Diamondbacks are tied at 2. They're in the bottom of the 9th. Little tapper in front of the plate. Maldonado is there for out number 1.
Hey, for just $20, see the Brew Crew in the Zoo. Get 1 Terrace Reserve ticket to select Brewers games and 1 2013 adult admission ticket to the Milwaukee County Zoo, plus a free beverage tumbler. For tickets, call 414-902-4000 or go to brewers.com/zoo. What were you saying?
I forgot. I was just enjoying the piano. It's a nice number.
No, but you were getting ready to say something.
Oh, it's irrelevant. It's true. Shin-Soo Choo, Korean born. Choo's got a number of fans in every city, and the Korean communities that are in a lot of these cities come out to support Shin-Soo Choo as he bangs one into right field for a base hit. And a 1-out single. Some Shin-Soo Choo fans. She's got her signs. You got to get those signs organized. Check out that baby rock, just out like a light.
Next batter is the shortstop.
Sweet hair working. I noticed this family, they're right below us. They're wearing LG Twins uniforms. A Korean professional baseball league team. My brother Mike actually pitched for the LG Twins.
Is that right?
Yeah. That's what jumped out at me.
Did the jerseys have Anderson on the back?
Yeah, it did, but I don't think any of those jerseys do. I'm not quite sure, though. I'm not brushed up on my Korean. Great picture. Fun time for everyone here at the ballpark. You know, Jerry Naron actually writes the lineup card for the Brewers. He writes Shin-Soo Choo's name in Korean, just like he writes Aoki's name in kanji.
There you go.
Japanese writing. So yeah, that's Aoki on the left, the Brewers leadoff hitter, and that's Choo. There's a 6-4-3 double play. That was nicely turned. So Badenhov gives up the base hit to Choo. But Turris bounces into the 6-4-3 double play. As is our custom on Sundays, we keep it right here. Miller Park's presentation of God Bless America. Here is Rob Edwards.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join your Milwaukee Brewers and all of Major League Baseball as we honor our great nation with the singing of God Bless America, led by Bob Kozlowski from the Brewers Guest Relations Department.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Still enjoying the nice sunny day, singing along to Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And all weekend long, we've been celebrating Bernie's 40th anniversary. 56% of fans said that they love Bernie's slide the most. Of course, his mustache and chalet getting some votes as well. Thanks to Chris Davis, Bernie got his birthday wish to go down the slide. And guys, may we all age as gracefully as Bernie Brewer.
No question. He looks good. He doesn't look a day over 50. He's 40. Chris Davis with that home run in the 5th inning. Some changes for the Reds. Frazier comes in to play third. That'll move Hanahan over to first base. Dusty Baker taking this opportunity to give Joey Votto a break. Gene Segura leads off for the Crew. Nine to 1. Cincinnati rolling over the Brewers today. Segura fouls it off.
And pitch count in real good shape for Homer Bailey. Has not hit 90 pitches yet. Sitting at 85. He's been pretty efficient.
Has 2 complete games this year. One of those the no-hitter. He and Hannigan make a good team as well. The battery today for Cincinnati. And Hannigan has had a lot to do with the Reds' success offensively today, as well as Segura strikes out. And Bailey keeps racking them up. So Bailey now with 6 Ks, pitching in the 7th inning. And 1 gone for Juan Francisco. Interesting that Bailey has 1 career win against the Brewers. That was last year in July. He's not pitched all that well against Milwaukee throughout his career. This year he has lost twice against the Brewers.
He's 1-7 against Milwaukee. Earned run average for Bailey against Milwaukee over 6.
Correction on the strikeouts. Bailey now at 7 Ks. Juan Francisco with 1 out. Reds are headed home after the game tonight. They start a homestand with the Diamondbacks tomorrow, so that'll be a big series. More so for the Diamondbacks than the Reds, but Arizona has some ground to make up. Cincinnati can really essentially put them out of it with a good series, and then the Brewers are coming into Cincinnati next Friday.
Great American Ballpark has been a difficult place for the Brewers to win the last couple of years.
You know, prior to last season, as you started to look at who was going to be the wild card or the division winner, it didn't really matter. You know, if you were the wild card team and you made it into the postseason, you still got a 5-game series. You had to play the team with the best record, but you still entered in to the series. So even though it looks like the teams are pretty well set, as Francisco takes a called strike 3.
You know, and even if you were the wild card, and sometimes you wouldn't have to play the team with the best record if that team was in your division, so that was a bit of an advantage for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when you look at the way the postseason is set up right now, even though it looks like of the 6 teams that are legitimate contenders for a postseason spot, there's only going to be 5 of those 6. Arizona's the team that is on the outside right now. It still creates a pretty compelling pennant race, I think, for division titles. So that means the Cardinals, the Reds, the Pirates, who lead the division right now, they're the teams that are going to be battling it out for that division title. The Dodgers have a lot of distance in front of the Diamondbacks right now, and of course the Atlanta Braves are just rolling over the Nationals in the National League East.
I guess right now the one team you don't want to have to deal with first round would be the Dodgers. Although the Braves have the biggest lead, well, of any division in baseball, but You win a division, you don't have to deal with that.
Protects division winners these days. Davis swing and a miss. Marshfield Clinic's shining moment of the game. He homered the lone tally for the Brewers. That was in the 5th.
And that was all strength from Chris Davis. The breaking ball away. He hooked it and knocked it out of here. Second deck.
Homer Bailey has a chance to strike out the side in this inning. Davis hoping to avoid that. And a 1-2 pitch, and he gets jammed. A slow roller coming in. Frazier, and the throw is not in time. Infield hit for Chris Davis.
So 2 of the 3 hits for the Brewers today belong to Chris Davis. Bailey eats him up inside, and a pretty good play by Frazier to make it close. Barehand pickup, good throw to first, but Davis able to beat it for a base hit.
So a close play, but an infield hit. The power bat and the wheels of Chris Davis on display in this game. And that'll bring Scooter Gennett to the plate. At the plate presented by Wendy's. He has the other hit, a double back in the 2nd inning.
I guess the question is, why doesn't Chris Davis just go to second base? I mean, if they're going to give it to him, why not?
Might set up an RBI chance for Gennett.
Playing behind the bag is Hanahan at first.
Gennett takes a strike.
When you're down 9-1, you can run. When you're up 9-1, you cannot. Or at least those are the unwritten rules in baseball. They give it to you, take it. They're saying, go ahead. Why not?
Well, Gennett was a .280 hitter this year in AAA, 79 games. All but one of those starts and one of those games was as a second baseman. He did have one start as a DH. Hit .280 with 3 homers and 22 RBIs. So in the big leagues, in 80 at bats, and Gennett playing in his 31st game today. He's hitting .313 with 4 homers and 11 RBIs. One of the Brewers' top prospects getting his chance. Ricky Weeks out for the year with a hamstring injury. Davis takes off. 3-2 pitches outside. Gennett draws the walk. So 2 on now with 2 out for Betancourt.
First walk of the game for Homer Bailey, perhaps tiring a bit. His pitch count over 100, but he has been spot on today. The curveball's been a very good pitch for him. We haven't seen too many changeups from Bailey, but the curveball, the fastball, both 4-seamers and 2-seamers have been very effective, and he's been able to pitch with a big lead just about all game. He had a 5-0 cushion in the 2nd inning.
Brian Price, pitching coach of the Reds, out with Homer Bailey. Inning started with back-to-back Ks, but an infield hit, which was a close play, and now a walk. And the Brewers have a chance to get a few back. Reds have activity in their bullpen. Alfredo Simon getting ready. Bouncing ball to Phillips, and that will do it for the Brewers in the 7th. 9-1. Bailey is through 7. Might be his last hitter. Headed to the 8th. innings today, batted around each occasion. At 5-run second, at a 4-run fifth. Set your compass due north Thursday nights on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Bill Shirk and Laura Shera. They'll take a look at the stories and adventures of outdoor enthusiasts in the upper Midwest. Thursday, 6:30 p.m. only on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Jeff Bianchi will take over at third base for the Brewers. Now to move Betancourt to short as Renicky takes Segura out of the game. And Baden-Hop back out there for his second inning of work. Willie Peralta is on the hook for the loss. He struggled today, gave up 7 runs in 4 1/3. Tyler Thornburg giving up 2 runs. A lot of walks today for the Brewers, 8 of them. Todd Frazier will lead off. Batting for Votto. Came into the game last inning. Votto finished 1 for 2 with an infield hit and a couple of walks. Pulls that one to third, right at Bianchi. Baseball has a way of finding you when you're just into the game.
Yeah, see if you're loose. I'll hit it to you.
One gone. Bianchi's done a really good job at third base.
Man, I see the look on his face saying, I knew that was going to happen. I was ready. Never fails.
And that'll bring up Brandon Phillips. Hope you'll make plans to join us on the homestand that will continue tomorrow. 3 days remaining after today. Got the Cardinals coming in. Don't forget Wednesday is a day game. Catch the Brewers on Fox Sports Wisconsin tomorrow and Tuesday. Marco Estrada and Kyle Loesch will have the ball for the Brewers the next 2 days. No television Wednesday, off day Thursday before the Brewers start a series in Cincinnati on the road. And a trip to Izzy's for a turkey Reuben. Scooter Gennett, fine play to get Brandon Phillips. 2 up and 2 down. Text question brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming. Jason in South Milwaukee wants to know, what pitches does a ground ball pitcher throw to a batter to induce ground balls?
Now, normally it's anything down in the strike zone. I mean, if you get the ball down, hitters have to go down and get it. A lot of times they get on top of the baseball, but you know, in the case of guys like Kinsler and Willie Peralta when he's on, and Baden-Hop, that's that 2-seamer, the sinker. Pitch goes down as it gets to home plate.
Sinker slider combo.
Pitchers that live up in the zone are fly ball pitchers. Pitchers that live down in the zone and more ground balls.
Jay Bruce with 2 away. It's always a challenge with Bruce because Baden-Hop is a low ball pitcher, a sinker baller. Bruce is a low ball hitter. So sometimes your best pitch enters into the sweet spot for Jay Bruce. 1-2 the count. Most left-handed hitters are low ball hitters.
It's based on your dominant arm. I mean, every now and again you get a left-handed hitter that throws left-handed, but most of the time it's left-handed hitter, right-handed thrower, and that's that dominant arm, the stronger of the 2 arms, and that leads the bat through the strike zone. And as opposed to right-handed batters, you're throwing with your right arm, your dominant hand is your top hand, and you're able to get on top a lot better. So that's why, as a rule of thumb, right-handers high ball hitters, left-handers low ball hitters, but not always.
Never thought of it that way. Makes perfect sense.
So you see, 8th inning, 9-1. You've learned something today.
Yeah, you're bringing it. bringing your A game, your A analysis today. Not holding anything back. Still sprinting down the lines, Bill Schroeder. 2-2 to Bruce. Tell you what, a lot of talk about Brandon Phillips and Joey Votto, and rightly so, but Jay Bruce, he is having a great year. He's in the top 5 in the National League in homers, RBIs, extra base hits, total bases, and doubles.
And he always kills the Brewers, that's for sure. No matter how he's been swinging the bat, you know, prior to the Brewers coming to town or Cincinnati coming to Miller Park, this guy has always been able to hit well against Milwaukee. Not sure what that is, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. You know, certain players, certain hitters like certain teams, and certain pitchers just have a tendency to do well against certain other teams.
And Bruce out in front of this one, a high pop up. And Jeanette is there. He'll take it to retire the side. So Baden Hop with a couple of scoreless innings. Looks like Homer Bailey coming back out for the 8th. Not only pitching well, but he is giving Dusty Baker some innings as they prepare for a homestand beginning tomorrow. And it looked like he was close to coming out last inning. Gave up an infield hit and a walk. They had the bullpen active, but he got through it. He retired Betancourt, and now he'll face Martin Maldonado as we start the bottom of the 8th inning. Maldonado and then Halton, and then back to the top of the order. Checking in on some of the scores around the big leagues. Got some extra inning games going. Pittsburgh and Arizona still tied at 2 as they go to the 11th now. The Rays beat the Blue Jays in 10 innings today. Tampa Bay winning 2-1 over Toronto. Tampa Bay keeps themselves in the picture in the American League East. Tampa Bay just continues to get it done. Amazing organization, a terrific manager in Joe Madden. Well, the Dodgers and the Phillies, that game has come to a conclusion. Philadelphia winning 3-2. The game was tied going into the bottom of the 9th inning. And the Phillies salvaged the final game of that series. Dodgers losing for just the 4th time since the All-Star break.
Amazing, isn't it? The way these guys have been able to turn things around.
Remember when the Dodgers were in Milwaukee earlier this year in April?
Yeah.
They're talking about Don Mattingly. He might be in his last days as a manager.
Yeah, they were talking about gassing Mattingly, and look what's happened since. It's amazing what happens when players actually start playing well.
Right. They got healthy. They, you got a season is a season, right?
Yeah. So, I imagine the Dodgers are very happy they didn't make a move.
Two and 2 to Maldonado, and it's upstairs. That's a trade that really worked out for both teams, and I thought the Dodgers got the worst end of that deal. It felt like the Dodgers bailed out the Red Sox with that trade, and they did financially, taking on all of those contracts. Carl Crawford, Adrian Gonzalez, Nick Punto. But it's worked out for both. Both teams are in first place. Red Sox were able to reboot and make a number of changes, including a managerial change. And the Dodgers, after a slow start, were able to start to put the pieces back together. They're doing most of this without Matt Kemp.
Yeah, Dodgers thought they were going to get instant gratification when they made that move at the trading deadline last year. Did not. A very disappointing finish to the season. But after a slow start, looks like they're heading to the postseason with that group.
Michael Gonzalez loosening. Looks like he'll have the 9th inning. Lucroy will hit next. He has provided one of the great memories for the season. That was here on Friday night. Ball and strike on Sean Halton. And a pinch hit at bat in the 6th inning. He struck out, then he stayed in the game to play first base, and his 2nd plate appearance.
Dusty Baker getting as much as he can out of Homer Bailey. He's at 113 pitches.
Simon was up last inning. Can't imagine Bailey would be around too much longer. Could be his last hitter. 2 and 2, and Halton takes ball 3. Pitches by inning for Homer Bailey. 115 pitches. Most he's thrown this year, 121. That was against Pittsburgh.
And that wasn't even his no-hitter game.
Oh, he was very efficient in the no-hitter. He had just 109 pitches in that no-hitter against the Giants. Faced just one over the minimum that game. Actually, he's had 125 pitches in a game. That was at Miami. Halton pops it up. And Phillips will make the catch for the out. 2 gone. And the Brewers will send up Lucroy to hit. Dusty Baker is going to let it ride here in the 8th. Well, Jonathan Lucroy had one of his signature moments of his career, his first career walk-off homer. And it came on the 7th pitch of an at-bat against Aroldis Chapman. And the Brewers were down a run. Segura reached on an infield hit, and Lucroy hit it out, and the Brewers salvaged one. A great comeback win for Milwaukee. It was one of those at-bats that you'll mark and keep for a long time if you're a hitter. Whenever you're struggling at the plate, you're going through a bad time, your confidence is low, you can cue up that one.
Made a mistake. I mean, he really couldn't catch up to Chapman's fastball, and Chapman and the Reds gave him a slider, left it up, and knocked it out of here.
Lucroy said after the game, just trying to put a good swing on it, just staying patient. As he flies to right, Bruce is back, and he's got it, and the side is retired. And you got to tip your hat to Homer Bailey today. 8 strong innings for the Reds. They lead 9-1. Back at Miller Park. Good to see all the kids at the ballpark today. They're having fun no matter the score. Yeah, how could you not have fun here at this ballpark? Celebrating Bernie's birthday up there in his chalet, styling. 40th birthday for Bernie. And the homestand continues tomorrow. St. Louis is beating the Cubs right now 6-1. They'll be headed from Wrigley up to Miller Park. We're headed to the 9th. And Michael Gonzalez will be the next man up for the Brewers, trying to get himself right on the mound. It's been a struggle for him the last few times out.
And last pitched on Wednesday against the Texas Rangers. Did not record an out, had some control issues, gave up a couple of runs, a couple of walks. But he has been used quite a bit this year. 62nd appearance for Michael Gonzalez.
And Heisey into center field. Logan Schaefer camped under it for out number 1. We'll check in with Sophia for more on the Brewers left-hander Gonzalez.
Well, Brian, Ron Renicky talking before the game that, Jim Henderson and Brandon Kinsler have been lights out, but they really need to get that third arm going, whether it's John Axford or Michael Gonzalez. And he said it's a catch-22 with Gonzalez because his kind of wild delivery and his fall off the mound can be distractive to the hitter, which is good, but also it's a harder fix mechanically because it's a tough fix. You don't want to mess with his delivery too much. But he also admitted that Gonzalez could be suffering from overuse. He said there's not a night that goes by where he doesn't think he could use Gonzalez in a game. So tough situation. They're hoping to get Gonzalez going here late in the season.
He's so reliable and certainly has the kind of an arm that can bounce back quickly. And maybe still all those appearances and all the appearances over his career maybe catching up with him. But guys like that are going to go through phases where they feel like they don't have much on the baseball. They can't control their pitches as well, and all of a sudden they come out and all of a sudden it's right back together again. I mean, Michael Gonzalez has been around as long as he has for a reason. He's been very good.
Yeah, the thing that makes him good can also disrupt him and get him out of his his command. And when he struggles, he typically walks batters. He doesn't give up a whole lot of hits. But you get why the Brewers don't want to necessarily try to clean up his mechanics. He's at the point of his career now where that's really not going to happen. But he looks like he's pitching in a little more controlled variety today. He's not falling off the mound as he normally does. And he's left-handed and has good life, good breaking stuff, so he's still valuable. Brewers signed him to a 1-year deal. Came over from the Nationals last year. And he's another name that keeps surfacing. The Brewers could possibly trade him by the end of this month to a contender. Be interesting to see what kind of market there is for Gonzalez. He's been through it before, so he understands that part of it. Two outs for Ryan Hanigan. Gonzalez drops a little changeup in there. 0-2 the count. Last call for the Brewers coming up in the ninth. They'll have Logan Schaefer leading off. Schaefer, Bianchi, and Francisco. And we'll check in with Craig Cashon and Jerry Augustine in our Brewers Live set prior to the ninth inning. Brewers Live following the game today. Don't forget our Brewers Live instructional today. Now we're going to be looking at base running today as Betancourt goes up the ladder. Uni B makes a catch, taking a hit away from Hanigan. And that will retire the side. Good play. He's had a nice game defensively. Check in with Craig and Augie when we continue. We're headed to the home ninth.
Innings where they bat around in each of those innings, and the big nemesis for the Brewers today turned out to be walks. They issued 9, 7 of those in each of inside the Brewer clubhouse. Here from the manager Ron Renneke, plus our instructional as we go now to the bottom of the ninth inning. Brian.
All right, thanks a lot, Craig and Augie, or as we like to call him, Croggy. And Alfredo Simon deals strike one to Logan Schaefer. This was a day meant for Jerry Augustine, was it not? I mean, we talked nothing but pitching. We had two young, hard-throwing hurlers on the mound today, and Bailey And Peralta coming off a terrific game yesterday with great pitching.
That'd be interesting to hear how Jerry's going to break down the appearance and start of Willie Peralta. It's just one of those days where Willie just couldn't find his breaking pitch. We didn't throw many changeups. I don't think he had much of a feel for off speed today. But
and Logan Schaefer with a base hit. So he's 1 out of 4 today. It's a good way to start the night. Homer Bailey was outstanding. He goes 8 innings, just 1 run, 8 strikeouts. And he's looking for just his second career win against Milwaukee. His first came last year. And Jeff Bianchi batting for the first time. Gene Segura was 0 for 3 today. Renicky using this opportunity in a blowout to get Segura off his feet. Bouncing ball, gloved by his tourist to Phillips and scooped by Hanahan. Wow. That was an impressive double play by the Reds.
Man, pretty sweet. I mean, there's not too many better than Brandon Phillips at second base. I mean, he can ad-lib as well as anybody. And check this throw to first base. Just kind of a nonchalant and able to get it over there, and a good pick over at first base by Hanahan.
So 2 gone, and the last hope for the Brew Crew, Juan Francisco. Trying to hit an 8-run homer. Those are rare. Hope you'll join us tomorrow night. Brewers Cardinals. St. Louis got 11 strikeouts today from Adam Wainwright. Cardinals up 6-1 over the Cubs. Actually, yeah, it's in the bottom of the 8th now. 6-1 the score. Francisco down the line, hooking, foul. Count stays at 0-2. Division leading Pirates are still tied with the Diamondbacks, 2-2 in the 12th. And a called strike 3, and this game is over. And it belongs to the Reds, as Dusty Baker and the Reds earn a split of this 4-game series. 9-1 the final score. Homer Bailey beats Willie Peralta. So out go the Reds, in come the Cardinals. And it's time for Brewers Live as we send it out to Craig Kashawn. What do you have coming up for us, Craig?
Well, Brian,